So Halliburton's 101 Black True just sold for a record-breaking $120,000 this past week, and my personal opinion is this guy is guaranteed to lose money. What do you think about that?
Wow, we couldn't be so far off because I thought he fucking stole it. $120K? That's it? I mean, if Shea's ran today, it's almost doing $1 million, dude.
The difference between Shea and Tyrese, though, is that Shea will have a championship next week, and Tyrese will have a picture of himself doing a choke symbol on a T-shirt.
Dude, Hallie's only 22, 23. He's 2020 draft class. Hallie's got time. And listen, Indy, look what they're paying for Caitlin Clark cards. I'm surprised you didn't pay more for Halliburton cards. Like, Indy's a good fan base full of love and basketball. Hallie's him, bro. 120, I can see that card doing a lot more.
I would agree with you if I thought the Pacers actually had a chance at winning this NBA Finals and that Tyrese had a chance, but I don't see it happening. I think that Tyrese, listen, this Indiana core, they can definitely make some noise the next couple of years, but you're buying Halliburton at his peak.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the argument right here, and my whole point is that he's about to lose the championship, and I mean, we've seen this before. We bring this up all the time. Joe Burrow, Gold Prism, did $70,000 the week of the Super Bowl, right? He loses to Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
We know that card is, worth 1/3 of that right now?
Yeah, for sure.
So, listen, I don't think Halliburton goes to 1/3 of 120.
Well, your Brunson Nebula did 85,000.
But again, we're talking about sales that are happening during the peak of cards, right? So all of these sales, 100% we can reference them, but you know that if you or I were shaking a guy down at a card show and somebody said the Brunson did 90K, I would have said, yeah, when they were in the playoffs, right?
True.
We're in the offseason now, and we're not paying offseason prices for Brunson. I'll give you 45K and negotiate up from there.
But if you would have came up right now and said, hey, the Hallie Black to 250K, I'd be like, sure. Any number could have made sense right now. 120 is cheap. I think, was that card an auction? I don't think it was an auction. It was probably a best offer.
It could have been a best offer, could have been a private sale. But again, let's just move over to, you are right in the sense that Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Drake May, all of their true prisms are basically selling for the same price, which doesn't make any sense because Halliburton's done way more than those guys. And I've been hearing this argument for years that basketball is an international market, and that's why it commands higher prices than football. The truth of the matter is it doesn't, because look at these 5 quarterbacks. Guaranteed 4 of these 5 quarterbacks will be on their ass in 3 or 4 years.
100%.
And those $120,000 cards are going to be worth $10K. Look at Mac Jones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Somebody paid $100,000 for a Mac Jones 1/1 Prism Black. And by the way, you can't even tell me that card's worth $1,000 right now.
No.
I would not pay $1,000 for a 1/1. I'm just saying, I personally would not pay $1,000 for a Mac Jones 1/1 Black Prism because I don't think he's good. I've watched him play. He's never going to be good.
I think we just figured it out because I would pay that because I'm a stupid American. The international scene doesn't feel as stupid as we are. We will spend $100K on bad quarterbacks when they are like, oh, we'll wait a little bit before we drop that type of money. I think this Tyrese Halliburton still is low. Is it a bad buy? Yes. Is it low? Yes. Would I ever spend 6 digits on a guy that's not in the Hall of Fame? Never in my life. So sure, in the short run, it's a cheap card. In the long run, it's a terrible buy.
And we talk about this all the time, and I'll never stop talking about it because this is one of those auctions that you let slip away. But no one will be able to convince me on this show or otherwise that Lamar Jackson, Black, 1/1, True Finite is worth $80K, and all the guys we just mentioned, just think about that. Mac Jones' rookie card sold more than Lamar Jackson, who has 2 MVPs. Lamar Jackson is in the Hall of Fame. Like, whether anyone wants to admit it or not, like, he will be in the Hall of Fame because there's a very short list of NFL players who have 2 MVPs, right? And he's one of them. He is one of like 10 guys who have ever played the game of football to win 2 MVPs, right? You cannot win 2 MVPs and not be in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't happen. 100% in the Hall of Fame. Mac Jones sold for $20,000 more than Lamar Jackson. Tyrese Halliburton sold for $40,000 more than Lamar Jackson. So the reason I'm going on this rant is no matter what on that $80K buy, will you ever lose money if you hold that card, right? Everybody else we just named, almost all of them will go to 0 or 10% of their worth. And that's the hard reality of card collecting.
I think there's a racial problem with that Lamar Jackson sale.
I've heard this argument before, but also like Halliburton, like what? Because he's light skinned. Like I don't get it.
That's basketball. Basketball is different. You don't have any white hope besides Larry Bird. You have to. In America, we like the white quarterbacks. It's super sad because Lamar Jackson has more talent and half his body than 99.9% of the quarterbacks. That card at $80K was so disrespectful. I know the owner of that card, and when I ballparked it, I was like, listen, this is a $150K card. It's going to do $80K because these collectors are stubborn and not good people. So we can't use that Lamar Jackson still to talk about Mac Jones and all that because Mac Jones is another white hope.
Well, I mean, you're just an idiot, though, if you'd buy a Mac Jones and over Lamar Jackson. And also, like, football is a meritocracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even as a collector, that's how I view all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you are an elite player, that's all that really matters if I'm looking at your card, right? I like to collect LeBron. I like to collect Kobe. I'll collect Brady. I'll collect Jordan, right? Because I know those guys and their body of work. So when I see Lamar Jackson, I think there's no way 10, 20 years from now you can't deny who this guy was and the statistics that he's going to have the most rushing yards by a quarterback for years and years and years and years.
Dude led the ACC in passing, around a 4.4. He's 6'6". They were calling him a wide receiver. He went 30th overall. If this was anyone else, they would be we just looked at quarterbacks like Jackson Dart just got drafted at 22nd. That's higher than Lamar Jackson. Jackson Dart's a 6-year player in the league. You know, I always talk about with my friends, if Patrick Mahomes was a little darker, he wouldn't have been where he was today. He would have been outside the first round. He wouldn't have gone in the hope. People wouldn't be collecting and paying top dollar for him. And honestly, Lamar Jackson has just as much skills as Patrick Mahomes does.
Listen, the only argument you can make against Lamar is that he hasn't been showing up in the playoffs where he should be. And listen, they got Derrick Henry last year, second year with Henry. Look out for the Ravens, dude. Just look out for the Ravens. I'm not saying
Peyton Manning didn't have any success his first 10 years. If you go put up Manning and Lamar back to back, Manning hasn't done shit compared to what Lamar's been doing. One day people will forget how talented Lamar Jackson is. He could play wide receiver. He could play cornerback. He could play any position in the league. He'll be a top 5 player at that position. So one day they'll get it.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of collectors who lose money on their ass. And listen, look at Ellie De La Cruz. His 101, I think, sold for a little over $1 million. And then when it resold a year or two later, $300K. So congratulations on losing $700,000. Thanks for watching Up or Down. We're back with new episodes and giveaways every week. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, and check out these other videos that we think you might enjoy.